couldn't have the beta.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
So. Okay.
So I think that's something that would have took care of itself in due time. So I don't even think. I think it was a failed opportunity for him. I mean, because like look at I mean Philly, like they they didn't stop feeding Embiid. You know, I mean they don't have a title, they don't have a championship or anything like this show for, but I think when guys get going like this, but like I was saying about the Clay thing, like Steph can pull back and let Clay have his night.
Yeah.
Like so you know, and Anthony Edwards was on board.
He was.
There was no static about this.
Because I think he scored only like 19 points.
Yeah, it was no static. It was no static in the air about this. It was he cooking, let him cook.
Yeah.
And I think the coach should have just got out the way. You know, just enjoyed the ride. Like Steve Kerr enjoys the ride. Like, you know, just let them boys, you know, build their confidence up. Because when they're in the second round of the playoffs and they're in a tough game 5 or game 6, like you can draw on that. Like that's where your confidence comes from.
Right.
Like, man, I've dropped 70. I can damn sure hit this 3. Mm-hmm. You know, 2 seconds left. Like, I'm the one that should be shooting. You know, like. So I think it was just a missed opportunity. I wouldn't have handled it like that.
So to sum it up, you just say it was a missed opportunity.
I think it was a missed opportunity. Yeah, because they're one of the best teams in the league right now. Okay. And man, I just think it was just a missed opportunity.
Okay, well let's get in on that. The Milwaukee Bucks changed coaches.
Yeah, they did.
With a 33 and 12 record.
30, 31,
or 31.
Was that 13? I think 31. They're 30. Right now they're 32 and 14.
Okay.
So I think they're 1-1 since the coaching change.
And it was in second place in the East.
Yeah.
It ain't even halfway of the season yet. You know what I'm saying? It's about there, but you know, it ain't been the All-Star break. We ain't had the All-Star break, and that's when things really ratcheted up. You know, and they still was in striking distance. Mm-hmm. They still could have been in first.
They could have easily called. Yeah, they could have easily called.
They just lost confidence in that coach. They picked him.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying, they didn't support him. I didn't like the move. At all.
Which move? The original move or the
cut? I mean, the fire the coach.
Okay, the fire of Adrian Griffin.
Yeah, the fire of Adrian Griffin. I didn't like that, man. I think that was some bull, because they could have kept him and just rolled with him and see where that leaded. You know what I'm saying? Because they was playing good. You know what I'm saying? They had some hiccups. That's because they trying to get their chemistry together. They trying to learn each other. You know, for Dame to have to adjust to Giannis and a system, you know, this is not a system that he's accustomed to playing. But, you know, he's stepping up. He playing. He ain't that Dame where he giving you 28 to 30 points a night, you know. But he's still giving you that in spurts.
Who was the previous head coach? What was his name?
Budenholzer?
Yeah, Budenholzer. Okay, so from everything I hear, the biggest point of contention here was that
we wasn't playing this. This ain't how Budenholzer was doing us, and you can't do that.
Well, it was about the defense. They were Budenholzer had Brook Lopez playing drop coverage and defense to where, you know, his main responsibility was to get back to the rim. You know, whenever pick and rolls were ran, or just whenever he could get back to the rim, retreat to the rim, and contest guys at the rim.
Right. And
they've been a top, you know, 5-6 defense pretty much the whole time Budenholzer's been their coach.
Right.
It's been an elite defensive team. It's just been the offense has
but
been
they should know, like, okay, when you change coaches, the way the team play is gonna change slightly. And then you go from you exchange an offensive player with a defensive, or a defensive player with an offensive player. Mm-hmm. The defense is gonna suffer, mm-hmm. because, you know, Drew Holiday had them, you know what I'm saying? He was like the,
He was
I
ahead
would
of his
say,
neck on defense.
yeah. If you mess up, you know what I'm saying, he could cover up. He covered up for a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he also, caused havoc for the guards trying to initiate
on the perimeter,
their offenses.
Yeah.
And then so you had to deal with Drew Holiday starting running the offense, and then you had to deal with Brook Lopez at the end trying to score. You know?
And so Dame ain't that type of player. Dame is an offensive juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? And he don't have that defensive prowess. Now he can play team defense. You know, he can play some team defense. He can play some team defense. If
he
a
can
lot
be
of
on the
these
team
guys
that play defense.
Dame ain't no cone. He ain't no turnstile. He ain't none of that. You know, Dame.
He like a cone if you laid it down.
Put some spec on his name, man. Put some spec on his name, bro. Don't do my guy like that. That's Lillard.
Pull up the highlight of
it's Dame time.
Pull up the highlight of Wembanyama doing his behind the back dunk and see who in the highlight.
What is he gonna do with Wembanyama? What is he gonna do with Wembanyama? What is anybody gonna do with Wembanyama?
Be a cone.
See, but everybody ain't Wembanyama. You know, dude can reach from here to the wall. You know what I'm saying? He got that reach.
All I can say is he tried out on the Rockets and they sent that to the third row. Oh man.
But yeah, man, I feel like they should have rocked with him a little longer. They didn't support him.
So
that was wrong.
So do you feel like they could have or would have won the title this year with Adrian Griffin?
I feel like they could have won. I feel like he could have still put the players in position, because when the playoffs start, it's a different season.
Where would you have put them? Like who?
Even if they would have stayed in second place, I still think they could have won.
You think they beat Boston?
I think they could beat Boston. They could beat anybody in the East.
But right now, do you think they beat Boston? Let's say a week ago, would you pick them over Boston? Would you have picked them over Boston a week ago?
In the game?
In the conference finals? Are you taking them over Boston? They lost to Miami last year. Are you taking them over Boston?
I could have rocked with them. I mean, I could see them beating. I mean,
would
I have put them?
Who you picking them? Or you picking Boston?
I'd have picked Milwaukee.
Okay.
I'd have picked Milwaukee.
Will you pick them over Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know why I say that? Because Joe will be getting hurt.
Okay.
Joe will be getting hurt.
Okay. Would you pick them over Denver?
That's different. I don't know. That might be a little different. I mean, because Denver are a complete team. Denver got a complete basketball team.
You pick them over OKC?
Yeah, I could pick them over OKC.
Okay. Yeah. You pick them over the Clippers?
Clippers is playing fantastic. I don't know about that one.
Okay.
Clippers is, man, I'm totally wrong. That's why I'm wearing this jersey. Because I was completely wrong about the Clippers. I said they was going to be a disaster. But they're either in second or third place.
It's just been a disaster for everybody else. Yeah. So, do you feel better about them now with Doc Rivers, though? Do you feel better about them with Doc Rivers? Was it an improvement?
It was.
Or do you feel like it will be an improvement? I mean, you got a rookie head coach.
Doc got experience.
You got a rookie head coach versus a champion. A championship.
Doc has experience. He has experience with managing stars, and that's a thing right there. When you are a head coach and you got multiple mega stars, you got to be able to balance them two personalities and their two styles of play, and you got to mesh them together, and make one cohesive unit. Doc has a track record of doing that. He didn't get too far with his other teams. I mean, he won a championship in Boston,
right?
And he had Ray Allen, was successful one time. He had plenty of
2 NBA finals.
yeah, but he was only successful one time.
Yeah. He's been 2 NBA finals. So he's gotten there twice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, on paper it looked like it's an upgrade. Now, whether it translate on the court to be an upgrade, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm definitely more confident in the team having Doc Rivers than I did Adrian Griffin.
Why?
Because I haven't seen it yet.
But that don't mean it couldn't happen.
Yeah, I know, but I've seen what happened with Adrian Griffin. Like I've seen the bad defense. Like what Adrian Griffin wanted to do, and I get it as a theory. Like he wanted the guys to be jumping in passing lanes, stealing passes, causing havoc, wreaking havoc in passing lanes, and and on people who dribble too much. He wanted those guys to just be running around like a bunch of red ants. But they tried it, and it didn't seem to be working for him.
It didn't work because they didn't buy in. They didn't buy in on his coaching schemes. They didn't buy in on his coaching style. They didn't buy in on him.
That's half the battle, man. You didn't have any credibility. That's half the battle right there.
Yeah, but they were supposed to bought in, man. That's your coach. You ain't supposed to give up on coach so soon. You know what I'm saying? Just
I agree, but Giannis, maybe he's taking his cues from LeBron, man. Like
that's the wrong person to take your cue from, bro.
I ain't got time to be waiting. We ain't got time to be waiting.
I'm gonna tell you, you got time, Giannis. You gonna get it. They got one.
They've made changing. They acquired a superstar and fired 2 coaches in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. Like they're it's a lot of pacifying being done in Milwaukee right now, and I think and honestly, yeah. I mean, if Giannis didn't sign off on it, he wouldn't have been fired.
I say the same thing. I say Dame too.
But oh yeah,
you can't take away defense and add offense when you already got offense, and you taking away some of your defense, a nice part of your defense, and expect success. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let that play out and let it see. Let one shoe fall and then the other one, and just see how that go.
But one player though,
one player mean a lot. Look, cause he at Boston now, and Boston is like 1 or 2 in the defense.
They were always good at defense though,
except for when the playoffs.
They were good at defense in the playoffs too. They just
not when they played us.
Who was us?
Quit playing, man. Quit playing. I see it, man.
They talking about in the finals a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
They were still a good defensive team.
Yeah, okay.
They were still a good.
Yeah, all right.
The Warriors wasn't putting up 120 on them.
Hey,
they just had
timely buckets.
They had a transcendent superstar, and then they also had it was a different Jordan. It was Jordan Poole before the hook. It was Jordan. It was pre-hook. It was pre-hook Poole, man.
That wasn't a hook. That was a straight.
It was. Oh, it was a straight. Oh, yeah, it was a straight. Okay, yeah. He ain't straight now.
No.
Yeah. No. Like it was before Poole got damaged.
Poole got a leak.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still feel like he makes a difference on that Boston defense.
Because Holiday definitely, definitely. He definitely makes it. I mean, it's having him and White out there, both are good defending guards. Then they got Porzingis, and they got a team full of good defenders, man. I mean, you got Brown, Tatum, you got Porzingis back there. They can bring Al Horford off the bench, so they got a team full of solid defenders.
And that would have been just a hell hell of a matchup. You know what I'm saying? Boston and Milwaukee.
Oh, it still could be.
Yeah.
Still could be. Still could be. I mean, because you know they wouldn't be as good defensively with Dame when you put Dame Lillard in to replace Drew Holiday, but
Right.
it shouldn't look like this though. It shouldn't look like that. And
So you think it was justified for him getting fired? You think it was justified for the team to flake out on him, for him to lose confidence in your boy?
I think if you feel like it ain't gonna work, like this is
It was
okay.
only
So
like 30-something games.
what happened with the coach Joe Mazzulla?
Mm-hmm.
They felt like he should have never gotten that job.
He shouldn't have. They didn't lose confidence in him.
Oh, they definitely lost confidence in him.
No. No.
That's why they fired coaches at the end of the last year, like assistants.
They didn't fire him.
No. Yeah, they didn't fire him.
That tell you that they
Yeah.
didn't lose confidence if they didn't fire him.
They didn't fire him, but if they don't make the finals again this year, he's getting fired. Like, so
And you putting that on what?
shit on everything, man.
On everything.
I'm putting on everything.
On everything.
If they don't make the finals this year, Joe Mazzulla's getting fired because they've got this,
Okay, so they just got to make the finals. They ain't got to win the finals. They just got to make it.
He might get fired. He might get fired if they lose the finals too.
Okay.
I mean, because this team is ready. Like you don't want to hear it knowing that this team is young and all this. They just need some experience and some season. They done been to the NBA finals already.
Mm-hmm.
With the previous coach.
Udoka.
Yeah, Ime Udoka. They made the finals then, and they've been in the Eastern Conference Finals like every year. Like, when is enough experience enough?
All right.
Okay. Like when is it just a failure of the coaching? Like, So I think the only reason he probably didn't get fired this year is because they did make Game 7 because they were down with 4-1 or 3-1 or something. Not 4-1, but 3-1 or something like that. They were getting murdered, and then they won those last two games to force a Game 7. And I think the only reason that he didn't get fired is because Jason Tatum got hurt in the first few minutes of that game, and it wasn't really fair to say that they wouldn't have won that game if Tatum was 100%.
Okay.
So I think they brought him back to give him a shot, to give him a fair shake per se.
Right.
But I think if they don't make the finals this year, I think he's out.
Okay.
And I don't think that the players didn't believe they could win with Dude. So just cut bait, just do it.
Okay. So you
just do it.
You agree?
Ain't no need to be stringing along. I mean, they only got so many years.
Yeah.
Giannis, he's gonna be coming up on 30 soon.
True that. But man, I don't know. I just think it was dirty. But anyway, what else we got?
It's a dirty game, man. That's all I got this week, man.
That's all you got?
Doc Rivers and the scoring.
Okay.
We'll come back next time when we had the All-Star starters name.
Okay. We can do that. Hey, like I said, man, I appreciate you for pressing that play button and checking us out. Hey, this is Sports Spit, and I'm J. Maurice.
I'm Slick Vic, Victor Garner.
Yeah, and it is what it is. And this is what we do when we do. Peace.
See y'all next week.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this. Share this with your peoples, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.